Got it.
All right, recording's in progress. Ready to go, boys?
Yep, let's do this.
Awesome. So, obviously, I'm Matt. He's Christian. He's Jay. I don't know why Jay's name is just Jay and why he's not there, but he's not there. You there? There we go.
There he is.
Oh,
That was weird. So, welcome.
apparently I'm just Jay.
So let's see here. Lots of busy stuff here for the FPHL. We had Elmira join today. We had Biloxi announce their head coach. There's another announcement coming up on Friday from the Big Boy Arena in Fraser. I got that news today. They've been waiting for Elmira and Biloxi to get off their hands and kind of figure out when they were going to announce their stuff. We got FPHL playoffs. We got a little controversy in some things, other things not. We got to find out why Jay hates the color purple. But Christian,
I do.
Start us off, my man.
Yeah, let's get on into it here. So let's talk about Elmira today. So at the first arena out in Elmira, Steve Donner, who of course formerly owned the Rochester Americans, involved with Sabres, involved with Nighthawks, a bunch of different teams, announced the name of the team after a lot of new stuff coming in there. What did he say? He said they have over $500,000 in sponsorship revenue coming in already.
Yeah, $500,000.
Yeah, so they're gonna have that, and they announced the team, the Elmira Mammoth, which is fitting because they're Mammoth Sports and Entertainment. And I know we have a certain Elmira person in here, so I wonder what that Elmira person here thinks about it. But also color scheme, orange and purple.
Yeah, the color scheme I'm not too fond of. I'm not a fan of. I thought they could have chose a different color other than purple, but I just hope that when they come out with a logo that it's a more intimidating look and it makes the purple more aggressive. I kind of like, if they're going to go with a color like that, then the logo needs to be really aggressive.
At least I hope it doesn't look like Village People.
Yeah.
Yes, it doesn't look like the Village People. It's similar to a hockey team that used to play out of Billings, and that kind of ties into today's conference too. But there was a team in Billings called the Montana Magic. They used to be the farm club for the Edmonton Oilers way back in the day. Wow. Don Kiernan, though, today, I love it. He just threw this little tidbit out there. Christian and I were probably in tears when we heard it, saying that, there's going to be 10 teams in the Fed this year, and they had to deny an 11th team out of Billings, which I'm sure, if it is in fact true that they had to deny someone, it was probably the team from the Western Professional Hockey League that is supposedly still around. Maybe.
Is it? They just started popping stuff yesterday, I think it was.
Yeah, so I don't know how that's going to go. That's an odd thing for them to have going on. I don't even want to get into the WPHL too much. I just know that there's
for its own podcast.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in there that I'm not too keen on. So we get Elmira.
Fair enough.
They get $500,000 already invested into this whole thing. They're putting in a new roof, or at least sealing the new one there. They've done
definitely needed that.
Logo is going to come out pretty soon here. We don't know necessarily what it's going to look like. Obviously, it's going to have a mammoth theme to it. I'm hoping that they use like one of the tusks as a hockey stick.
Oh yeah,
that would be cool. Like an angry animal. Maybe that will change Jay's view on the purple.
We'll see about that.
But they haven't figured out a head coach or anything along those lines, and that was something that was a bit surprising to me. I thought they would have had a little bit more than just here's kind of the outline of our uniform and this is the name. Looking into coaching, Christian and I talked about it. Jay, I think you and I have talked about it in the past too. We know one legend.
Oh yeah. Nick Nieder. I mean, he was with Binghamton. The real question is he going to try to go for the Coast or SB? I love Nick. Proud to call him a friend. Yeah. Played for him actually for a spring season, believe it or not, and that's another, those stories are for another podcast. But maybe they go for him, or Rod Davidson just left or just dismissed in Binghamton. Maybe that's when I know he's getting up there in age, but Rod Davidson could be one to go there. So there's a lot of opportunities. Maybe they'll just go off the board and see someone that we don't recognize.
Yeah, and like with the SPHL, there's been a couple of teams that are now looking for assistant coaches. I know Birmingham, the Bulls, they just posted not too long ago that they're looking for a coach. So I wouldn't be surprised if Nick was eager to get back to the SP, but it would be pretty amazing to see him behind the bench for Elmira. And it would just add even more to his legacy in the community.
Yeah, he's done a lot there. Played, he played for Elmira. Jack played for the Enforcers, so it'll be cool.
I was hoping he was just going to stay in Binghamton because that head coaching position just opened right up, and he literally just joined the team at the end of the playoffs there. And I think he's just going to slide right into that head coaching position there in Binghamton and go with that because that's already a made team. I mean, they could have had a good playoff run, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, and they just announced Tyler Jurich as a player assistant coach, which
he was already a player assistant coach there this year.
Well,
I thought he was already one. Him and Mo were already the player assistant, I thought.
Yeah, I guess it's now a more of a permanent official thing. I'm not entirely sure.
He's living in the area. I know that.
Yeah, exactly. And we were talking not too long ago there just about Rod Davidson and their situation there with Binghamton. And now Mississippi is in the league, Biloxi, and they did their big announcement today. I know from a personal point of view as a fan, I can't stand this man because I was an Aviators fan. Phil Esposito is back in the Fed.
I love it. I'm so excited. So Phil is another guy actually coached me at one point. He's an East Haven guy, which is he's brings a lot of talent for hockey, and might see Greg Harney go there. Just gonna put that out there. Greg Harney might be a Mississippi Seawolf with a relationship that Phil has with the family. I think Jay actually didn't realize, but he's the all-time winningest coach in the league. He's a fiery individual. There's a lot of Espoisms. This past year he was coaching a U18 elite hockey program out in Connecticut that one of my teammates' brothers is playing. Old teammates' brothers is playing on, and actually there was a lot of vlogs about it. So you can watch and see what kind of coach Espo is. But he's got Espo. He's got hit him. He's got the a million things of gum, double bubble that he always eats or chews rather. So he's a very interesting fellow. But hey, this is a great opportunity for him. This is a great market to go into. He obviously knows Joe and Allie really well from playing against them throughout the years, and Barry as well. So if he can bring the success he had in Danbury, and I know he's going to build one tough team. Mississippi might lead the league in penalty minutes next year.
Yeah, it's going to be loud. It's going to be violent. Some of the buddies that Jay and I have already said, they'd love to go down there to go to camp and get a crack at a team with Phil at the helm. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for Phil. Happy for him.
Yeah, very. I mean, and like I just got a text message now here. This absolutely 100% confirms it. I'm not going to say who it's from. I don't ruin things like that for myself or for the community. But I just got 100% a confirmation. So Frazier is 100% a go. We already kind of knew that based on the Motor City Rockers stuff already connecting to the league website. But yes, it's 100% a go. Pretty sure the conference is going to happen this Friday from the Big Boy Arena, which is where they're going to be playing out of. Motor City Rockers are back from the dead, kind of. I'm not sure. Were they ever dead? I don't know. I think they're more
reborn. You got reborn.
Reborn.
The only thing I wonder with them is who are they? Like, who's going to be running that show? I mean, who's going to be running that show? Because I know we saw something that said Shadow Throws hockey. That's just like the entire thing involved with the arena. So it's
So
gonna be interesting to see who's involved.
So we don't know who the owner is.
I know a lot about who the ownership group is.
Mm,
It is not a singular owner. There is someone in that entourage that is the majority owner, but there is quite a few people involved in this thing. A number of them have experience within the NHL, be it as a player, potentially an agent, and a little bit beyond that. But on top of that, there is some FPHL experience. It is coming from a team in the last, say, 4 years that did exist, no longer does. I've been asked not to say
Janesville?
anything, obviously, until Friday. I would like to say as much as I could, but really, this songbird can't sing this one out.
Yeah.
But I will tell you that knowing who this person is, they do have a very good record behind them. They've done a lot of the right things. They're not going to be controlling this team from afar. They're going to be literally at its doorstep. They've been in there the last few weeks, possibly months, even assigning housing, getting things done properly with locker rooms, booking ice times. They've already got their dates picked out for camps. So this team's going to be a big deal. The only thing that I have of concern is we're now going to see another team that has purple in their uniforms, which is a key design to it. And that's going to be really messy when you see purple, gray, and black versus purple, orange, and white.
yeah, definitely got a clash. That's for sure.
I worked in the NLL the last couple of weeks, obviously.
Yeah.
Working with our radio network here, and there are a couple teams with those color schemes that I don't think they've gone against each other, but I know there's the team in Halifax who has the exact same color scheme as this Elmira team. It's gonna probably be similar.
Yeah.
And we actually saw them here last week. And then there's a team down in Fort Worth who also has purple. So I don't think it'll be a big issue, to be honest. I think you've seen it in the AHL and the ECHL where teams have similar colors. I mean, everybody else is red.
Yeah.
And it brings a very cool color wheel in the league.
Yeah, it was really frustrating for me just as a Manitoba Moose fan for the AHL when I saw Milwaukee change their colors back to that light blue, dark blue, white thing that they've got going on.
Weren't the Kings purple one time too?
The
LA Kings weren't they?
Yeah, they were purple and gold.
Yeah, they were
for a while. They had the Lakers colors. So
okay, gotcha.
They didn't do too bad, I guess, really in the end. But yeah, so Fraser, we're expecting an announcement from them on Friday. Of course, once I know the exact time, I will get it up there. But I recommend everybody paying attention to Big Boy Arena's Facebook channel. Just in case I miss it, there's a chance that you'll be able to grab it, like some of our followers have done on Minor Pro Hero on Facebook. Shout out to you guys. I love it. Jay loves it. Christian loves it. There's a ton of players like MJ Graham, Everett Thompson, Ryan Marker, Trevor Babin, Oslin, Ryan Devine. There's a ton of guys who absolutely love what we're doing and want us to keep going. So I just want to say thank you to those players who are going to be on the show eventually here, and also to all the fans out there that have helped grow this thing. Speaking of growing, so now we're in the playoffs. We're growing closer to game one of the finals. But let's talk a little bit about how we got there. Christian, I'll have you start us off here a little bit about the Danbury Hat-Tricks and what this unfortunate halt for them means.
Well, yeah, first round was incredible. I mean, it was so much fun to watch. Nerve-wracking, to say the least. Nerve-wracking. But they came out well, and you saw the veteran leadership they have. Second round, they come home, game one. First period was pretty good.
Yep.
They played their worst hockey of the year, and that's in that 5-minute, 16-second stretch. Some of the worst hockey. Then they got a couple bounces to come back.
Yeah.
Game two, you and I were texting that game. They were just playing out flat. I mean, it was not the best hockey. And as the clock struck zero, I knew that it was the end of an era, I think, for Danbury hockey. And, I'm not going to say too much because I'm still very close to everybody there. I as many of you know, I work for the team. So I think for the hat tricks, it's an end of an era. I think, Phil Bronner retired, came in late in the year. Peter DeSalvo was awesome. He retired. I don't
Yes, he
think
was.
I don't think Nikola Levesque is coming back. He's running a full business out in the Quad Cities. Johnny Ruiz hinted that he doesn't know what is going to happen next year. He's busy with his ball hockey stuff. He's, one of the best in the world at it. So, they have a good young core around, Ojic, McDonald, and all these different guys. Brian Wilson, he's probably going to go up to the coast next year with a couple of spots opening up.
Yeah.
So, or the SP. So, it's going to be a tough transition. And coaching wise, I don't know what's going to happen next year. I love Dave, another guy that coached me, and we got to get him on the pod, by the way, too. I can definitely hook that up, but
we can do that.
Yeah. Dave is awesome. Is it done for Dave? I don't know. Maybe he goes to another job. We'll see what happens. Maybe Niedert comes home too.
Yep.
I heard that rumor from a friend. That is not a rumor, but heard that scenario from a friend. So we'll see what they do. I have full confidence in Billy. I have full confidence in Billy that he'll build a good team.
Yeah.
But that other series in the first round, Port Huron fought. They fought hard, but
yes, they did.
Nothing
they always came up short.
Yeah, Carolina just has those guys. I think Gus Ford's one of the most dynamic players in this league.
Oh yeah, Gus Ford's been phenomenal. Nick Modica, shout out to Mo. Him playing through.
Gotta get him on too.
I won't even
that
tell you
injury,
but it was an extreme injury.
Yeah.
The fact that he was even in the crease is absolutely amazing. A little bit sad.
Their goaltenders went through a bunch of injuries. They had all three of their goalies were hurt.
Yeah.
Brandon Brown, who they got from Post, my buddy was his goaltending partner at Post.
Yeah.
And you also had Chris Paulin, who was second team goalie of the year. He was
injured
out
in the last game.
Yeah, last game. So then you have to bring in Brandon Rossi, who's been your fourth guy all year, as your fourth guy.
Yeah.
But Modica is a lot of fun to watch, and for a small guy too. And he's the localish guy to us here in Connecticut, from just over the border in Westchester, Rockland County.
Yeah. So we're running a little low on time. Got just a little under 7 minutes here to roll before we roll this one down. Port Huron sucks that they had to go. Sucks to see that Joe Pace didn't get a final opportunity at a cup there. But kudos to him for doing everything he did throughout the year and also playing out those last games with the Prowlers. And then we get the second round. Carolina gets bounced. Danbury gets bounced. Now here we are with Columbus and Watertown. Watertown held first place all year long. They have had a dynamite roster.
Number one.
Yeah. And Columbus, the way they're like the Muhammad Ali of this league for late season comebacks. They tend to rope-a-dope you for the first 3 weeks. And then after that, they're a hard team to beat. Jay, who do you pick to win this series and why?
Watertown all the way. They've had such a roll. You can't get past that first line with J Mac and Jamafe. And Divine just solidifying that defensive front. Dude, that whole team is well-rounded on both ends. It's going to be a high-scoring game, a high-scoring series, and I think that it's going to be high-scoring for one side, the whole series.
Christian,
no slack to McBurney or nothing, or the rest of the River Dragons, but I think Watertown is just going to take the whole thing.
Yeah,
and Bailey didn't play his best hockey in that game one. Game two, he was pretty good.
Yes.
I think Watertown's going to win this one. I think it's going to go 3. I see Columbus taking game 1 at home because it's hard to play in the Civic Center, especially after a long 26-hour bus ride.
Yeah.
Hard to play in the Civic Center.
Yep.
And I was surprised Columbus got a win in Danbury too, which is a bigger surprise. It's extremely hard to play there.
Yeah.
But it's hard to play the Civic Center. Game 2 and game 3 are going back to Watertown. They're going to win those games. And I think when you look at those teams, Another guy, talk about is Josh LaBelle. He's a big, tall guy.
Yep.
No offense, has the longest neck ever.
Yeah.
I seen a picture earlier of that, by the way.
Yeah, he has the
Long
longest
neck.
neck ever. So he's a big guy, but he's been good defensively. He scored a lot of big goals. And then, we're also forgetting that they have Ahmed Mahfouz. And while he came in midway through the season, he's been lingered by injuries. He's still the same Ahmed Mahfouz.
Yes, he is. I love his tenacity. Ever since he was in the inaugural season for the Enforcers, he drew me in. He's the reason why I went to almost every home game that year. And it was that's what puts butts in the seats, is that kind of play. And that's what I like.
I'm really torn in this series. I've got a lot of good friends in Watertown. Curtis Mosley, one of them, who's been a fantastic friend of mine. Jimmy Lodge. I met him a number of years ago with Manitoba Moose when he was originally drafted by the Winnipeg Jets. Adam Bookboom, I've followed that guy's career for as long as it's ever gone, all the way out to Iceland and back. But then you go to the other side and, you got the Crane, Edgar Zoslinch, you got MJ Graham, you got Josh Petrantonio, you've got Bailey McBurney, who I know is pretty mad at me for not mentioning him in my goalie of the year kind of category. And I'm sorry, Bailey. Don't hate me for that. But I honestly, I'm going to be going with Columbus here. And I think it's because they can bring the unexpected to the series. If there's anybody in this league right now that can hang with Watertown, if it turns into a smash mouth game, it's going to be Columbus, because Jay Krupp can throw them, MJ Graham can throw them, Edgar can throw them, Josh can throw them, Schmidt.
We've seen evidence of
fight anybody.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, all those guys that I just mentioned, including McBurney, because he's almost scored this season, they can all do that too. It's gonna.
And you're forgetting one guy too. You're forgetting one guy they got. They have, other than Doe.
Yeah, Doe. Yeah.
Ian White.
Yeah, and Ian White brings NHL veteranship to it. I think what it's going to come down to is tactics from behind the bench. Who plays that mental chess game better and longer?
Boomer Clark. Yeah.
Yeah. If Columbus is able to handle the full 60-minute grind that Watertown's put on every team this year, then I 100% agree with Christian. It's going to go a 3-game series.
Clarky's a smart guy.
I have my hands on.
So is Boom.
So
you're putting two of the smartest coaches there together.
Yeah, it'll be a scary series, and that starts in 48 hours here. Not too happy with the Friday, Sunday, Monday thing, but it is what it is. I'm not going to crap on them for it. I know the reasons behind it. It's because the guys want to watch the NHL playoffs. I'm kidding, but they probably do. So, but as it is, we're about to run out of time here. Christian, thank you again for coming on board. We're going to have
you on very
tomorrow. Jay, fantastic for you to be here again. Obviously, we're going to have Everett Thompson on the show tomorrow. We're going to talk all things Carolina Thunderbirds. We're going to talk a little bit about his career going forward if he's coming back next year. There's a couple other things I'm not going to talk about right here, right now. They're a little bit of a surprise for tomorrow. You'll have to tune into that episode. I'm going to get things edited here pretty quick here and hopefully be able to get this up either by the end of tonight, midnight my time, if not tomorrow morning. Thanks again, everybody, for watching the show. Pay attention to MPH. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, kinda
everywhere.
We're everywhere. We're the Illuminati. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Later.